If you like our video, click the subscribe button to subscribe to our channel and get easy access to new content. To see our full suite of ad-free video courses and training materials, visit us at teachucomp.com. After opening a Camera Raw file for processing in the photo editor in Photoshop Elements, it opens within the Camera Raw dialog box. This dialog box contains the tools and settings used to import and process the Camera Raw data. At the very top of the dialog box is the title bar, which shows the name of the version of Camera Raw you have installed. Below that is a bar that shows the name of the Camera Raw file and the camera used to take the photo. At the right end of this bar are the Convert and Save Image, Open Preferences dialog, and Toggle Full Screen Mode buttons. You can click the Convert and Save Image button to open the Save Options dialog box, which you can then use to save a copy of the Camera Raw image as a DNG file with the settings that you specify. This will be discussed in a separate lesson. However, note that you can hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and then click the Convert and Save Image button to save and convert a copy of the image but bypass the Save Image dialog box if desired. Clicking the Open Preferences dialog button opens the Camera Raw Preferences dialog box, which is also discussed in a separate lesson. You can click the Cancel button in this dialog box to close it if needed. Finally, clicking the Toggle Full Screen Mode button toggles the Camera Raw dialog box between a full screen and a smaller version of the dialog box. At the far right side of the dialog box is the toolbar of the Camera Raw dialog box, which contains buttons that let you edit and correct the image while processing it. The buttons are, from top to bottom, Edit, Crop and Rotate, Red Eye Removal, More Image Settings, and, at the very bottom, the Hand tool. At the right side of the dialog box are panels for the Edit, Crop and Rotate, or Red Eye Removal tool, depending on which tool is selected. In the upper right corner is a histogram of the current image showing the tonal range of the image at its current settings. As you make editing adjustments in the tabs in the Edit panel when using the Edit settings, the data in the histogram automatically updates. In the upper left and upper right corners of the histogram are two buttons you can click to toggle clipping warnings on and off in the preview image to the left. When enabled, clipping warnings appear as shaded red or blue areas in the preview image. These areas indicate where clipping of the highlights or shadows in the image will occur according to the current settings. The left button is the shadow clipping warning, and the right button is the highlight clipping warning. Above and below the histogram, you can see RGB and image information. You can move your mouse pointer over the preview image to see the corresponding RGB information for whichever point within the image preview over which your pointer hovers at the top of the histogram. Below the histogram is the basic image information. When the Edit tool is selected in the toolbar, then three collapsible and expandable tabs appear at the right side of the dialog box in an Edit panel. You can click these tabs to show or hide the tab's associated settings and sliders. The tabs from top to bottom are named Basic, Detail, and Calibration. Below the preview image shown at the left side of the dialog box, in the lower left corner is the Zoom Settings dropdown. You can select a choice from this dropdown to set the magnification level to use by default when you click the preview image to zoom in on it. The Zoom tool is the default tool in Camera Raw. When it is active, you can hold your mouse pointer over the preview image and click to zoom in to the area at which you click. Then click again to zoom out to fit the image in the preview area again. To the right of the Zoom Settings dropdown is a 5-star scale. You can click or click and drag in this scale to set a star rating for the current photo. To toggle the photo as being marked for deletion, you can click the Toggle Mark for Deletion button, which looks like a trash can icon to the right of the stars. Further to the right, in this same bar, is the Cycles Between Before-After Views button. You can click this button to cycle the preview of the camera raw image between the 5 before-after views to choose the way changes you make to the camera raw file appear in the preview area. You can also click and hold down on the button to show a pop-up menu of choices instead, and then click the name of the before-after view to apply in the menu that appears. If you select one of the before-after views and then change the image, you can then click the adjacent Swap Before-After Settings button to swap the settings between the two photo versions, or click the Copy Current Settings to Before button to copy the changes to the before image. You can click the Toggle to Default/Current Settings button to toggle between applying the current or default settings to the after version of the photo. At the left end of the bar at the bottom of the dialog box, you can click the Help button to open a web page that tells you more about using the Camera Raw dialog box. To the right of that, you can use the Bit Depth Settings drop-down to choose the desired bit depth to use for the Camera Raw image file. In the lower right corner, you can click the Done button to apply any process settings changes to the selected Camera Raw image and close this dialog box without opening the image in the photo editor. You can click the Cancel button to cancel your changes and close this dialog box if needed. You can hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and then click the Reset button that replaces the Cancel button to reset this dialog box if needed. You can click the Open button to both apply your changes by updating the image's metadata and also open the image in the photo editor. Alternatively, you can also hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and then click the Open Copy button that replaces the Open button to open the selected image in the photo editor without updating the image's metadata. Remember to click the subscribe button to see more of our videos. Get ad-free courses at teachucomp.com.